Hey everyone, Sadie here, and this is definitely my #1 requested video ever. I get the point, I'm gonna do it. I did a Jarvis rewriting PLR video a while back, and it did really well. You guys found it very helpful, but I never followed up on using Jarvis long-form assistant to rewrite PLR. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to dive in and show you exactly how I rewrite PLR using Jarvis. For those of you who haven't tried Jarvis, you can use my link below to sign up for a free trial. For those of you who have tried Jarvis and weren't satisfied with it, I want to let you guys know that I was in that boat at one point too. I loved Jarvis, then it kind of changed, was not happy with it. Now Jarvis is back to the good old Jarvis, how it was. I love it. Jarvis has been behaving himself and performing wonderfully. So if you haven't tried it in a while, go ahead and try it again. My sign up link is below. Let's dive in and get started. To begin rewriting PLR with Jarvis, you have to start with high quality PLR. There is so much crap out there when it comes to PLR. If you're starting with crap, it's going to be so much more difficult to rewrite it and make it good. So I have included some links for you, but I also wrote this little doc up so you can refer to it. It's basically an outline of this video, so you can use it whenever you're ready to go through and actually rewrite the PLR that you've chosen. So you're going to go to plrforblogs.com and click on shop. Now, this isn't going to be your only source of PLR. However, I have a coupon for you, so you can do this with a free article. I'm going to look at budgeting PLR because the niche site that I'm starting is about budgeting. I am going to use the Understanding Credit for Beginners article. I think, let's see, there's some other ones. Painless ways to cut household expenses would be good. Let's work with this one. After you add it to your cart, click on cart. And then you're going to type in the coupon code Jarvis free. This coupon code is not listed below because I'm not going to give free PLR to someone who isn't going to watch the video. So this is a reward for you because you're watching the video. This can be used one time. Don't be a sneaky snake and set up a new account to use it over and over again. That's a really lame use of time for $3. So proceed to checkout. And then you're going to put all your info in. I already have my info in because I do this all the time. For videos, put your info in. After you put your info in, click on place order. And then you can sign up for the affiliate program if you would like, but don't get distracted by that. If you're going to sign up for the affiliate program, press pause, open it in a new window, and then come back. Do the affiliate program later. But it is a good way to make money. Anyway, we're going to go here and download. And then there is the PLR rights file, which literally just says you can't resell it as PLR. And then there is the actual PLR article. I have everything in a Word doc, but then I also have it in a Google Doc, which is what we're going to use. And this article was written months ago. I haven't looked at it in a while. Hopefully I don't find too many mistakes as I'm editing it. But you're going to go through and make sure everything looks good with the article. If not, please send me a message. And there's usually affiliate ideas and related PLR at the bottom. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this entire article and I'm going to log into Jarvis and put it there. So I'm already logged into Jarvis in this window. I'm going to click on the long form assistant. We are going to click on blog post workflow. And this is where you describe the content you want to create. So understanding credit for beginners. We could put how about article about? There we go. I'm not going to put in keywords right now. That's later. Title. Okay, this is very important. Do not ever use the title that comes with the PLR. That is the worst thing to do because most people that buy PLR Well, the people who actually use it, most people never even use it, but the people who use it, they don't do it. They don't change the title or anything else. And if you don't change the title, how do you expect to rank above them? All right, so we have the Beginner's Guide to Understanding Credit. Ooh, I like that. You know what? I like that. That's it. That's good. Okay, use that one. And then you can allow Jarvis to create an intro paragraph. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Let's see what Jarvis comes up with. I like this last one because it's got questions that may not be answered in the PLR, and that is going to make it easy for me to add to it. So I'm going to select that even if I don't use it as an intro. Now remember, especially if you have boss mode, you have two modes up here, two options. You can go to focus mode, which is what we're in, or you can click on power mode, which is where you can access all of the templates. So do not forget about that specific thing. Like, that's very, very important. Also, over here on the right hand side, Jarvis has a plagiarism checker. If you have Grammarly, you can enable it. And if you aren't sure which keyboard shortcuts are on Jarvis, guess what? They've got them right here, and they've got some pro tips. I have an entire blog post dedicated to that. I'll try to remember to link it below. And then if you have any questions, there's videos. How to use the editor, what are the commands, blah, blah, all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to paste in the article that I bought from plrforblogs.com. Again, if you go over there and you use the code JarvisFree, you will get a free article. Do it one time. Over on the left, we have the title, which I like this title, The Beginner's Guide to Understanding Credit, but it means it's going to have to be very lengthy. It's already over 1,000 words because almost all of the PLR on my site is, but in a financial industry, and with this being PLR, I imagine this is going to get to be over 2,000 words. Over here on the content description / brief, you can make this as detailed as you want. I have found most of the time Jarvis is fine with something simple. If you find that Jarvis is not performing well and is not understanding what you're wanting him to talk about, you probably need to come over here and update the content description. You can also update the content description as you work on your article. If you're working on a section that's really long about something very specific, you can go ahead and put that in the content description brief, and you can also use the 3 asterisks to make Jarvis forget everything that you've written about up top. Your tone of voice, I usually use informative or mom because moms are usually my audience. And then keywords here, these really don't matter a whole lot because I do my SEO in key search. Many of you are going to use Surfer for this, so I'm really not going to touch on SEO very much. I will mention it, and it is in my Google Doc over here, just briefly, but I want to make sure that you understand this is not an SEO video, so do not listen to me for SEO advice in this video. This is just me showing you the basics of rewriting PLR. After you add in your keywords, these are fake. This is all fake. You're going to go to your output length and choose short, medium, or long. Now, the financial site that I am writing this for is about single moms. So I'm going to put this keyword at the top just for my own personal use. This is not something that is a must. It's just how I do it. Credit building for single moms. Single mom credit building. Those are 2 things that I want to keep in mind as I'm writing. This is not something that you have to use. And, I'm used to outranking. They have the formatting for the italics, so I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, our intro is credit can be a confusing topic for many people, but understanding the basics is important to protect your finances and get the most out of credit products. In this article, we will discuss. So you don't want to, and I do this a lot, but you don't want to start a sentence with and or but or anything like that. So if you want to change this intro, that's what we'll do. And then this is really weak. You never want to say, in this article, we will discuss, or in this blog post, we will discuss. It's just really lame. I'm going to leave this alone for right now and just work on the PLR. We titled this The Beginner's Guide to Understanding Credit. And I think it should be the single mom's guide because my audience is single moms. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now this is already written. This is the PLR. There are two things that you can do here. You can highlight and click over here where it says rephrase and see if you like what it looks like. So it says free credit scores services like Credit Karma can assist you in determining why your credit score is what it is and how to improve it. However, they aren't always correct. Get a true credit report once a year by requesting your free annual credit report. This will provide you with the actual breakdown of your credit as well as your FICO score. I think that's pretty good for rewriting this. If you guys read through that, like, that's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and click that check mark. And then we're going to Control J, which is compose, and see if Jarvis has anything else to say. That's not very good. Okay, let's go ahead and forget all of this and see if Jarvis does better. I was just talking so well about Jarvis. Yay! Okay. I'm going to click Control J again just to see where it stops. Okay. It's important to understand credit utilization, credit history, credit score ranges, and how credit scores are calculated. These factors all play into your credit rating and can affect everything from your interest rates on mortgages and car loans to the amount of rent you're approved for. That is totally true. The goal is to have a good credit score so that when you need to borrow money, you can. A good credit score means you're a low-risk borrower and are likely to be approved for credit at favorable interest rates. That is true as well. Okay. The next section says, what is credit? And I'm going to show you a different way to reword. We're going to click on the content improver, and there is a 600 character limit. So let's see. All right, we're there. Good, good, good. And then we need to click Generate AI Content. Once you copy and paste over onto the left-hand side, you're going to get a few outputs. And this is saying credit is the trust that lets people or business give things to other people with an agreement they'll pay it back. This over here says credit is the cornerstone of our economic system because it lets lenders offer things like loans with even more benefits. That's kind of a weird with even more benefits thing, but it's the rest of it's true. It can be beneficial for both borrower and lender. Banks are usually one type that offers these types if credit, nope. Okay, next. Credit is the trust that lets people or businesses give things to others. Okay, this is exactly what I already said, so that's not going to work. Credit is the trust that lets people or businesses give things to other individuals with an agreement. Okay, this is the same thing too. Okay, Jarvis, let's try this again. We're going to try it in informative and generate. And you guys, I know this makes the video longer, but I'm not going to cut out all these times that I'm messing around with Jarvis and having to delete things, because in reality, you're going to have the same problems once in a while. So if I cut all of that out, that's just going to make it look like it's your fault whenever you're using Jarvis. You're going to be like, why is this not working? No, I literally was one of the very first Jarvis experts. No, it's not you. Jarvis is a tool to use. It's not always perfect. I was one of the first 10 certified Jarvis experts that were appointed by the team at Jarvis. So we had to know Jarvis in and out. And I used Jarvis every day for hours to learn it. And I still have issues at times. It happens. It's not necessarily you. Sometimes it is. I have other videos that cover that. But if you're struggling, just know that we all do at times. Just keep trying. Credit is the trust that lets people or businesses give things with an agreement, usually made after careful consideration. Okay, this is good. It's hard to see the world of finance without first understanding credit. It's a system that allows people or businesses who have been granted access by an agreement with another party called a lender, where they will repay back any debt. It's kind of a weird It's kind of a weird way to say things. So, if you keep having this problem, it's going to be faster for you to just rewrite it yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Jarvis output and go back into focus mode so I can actually focus and use this as well. Another thing you can do is rephrase this way and see if it works, if the other way isn't working. Credit is a type of trust that allows individuals... It's not really a type of trust. Come on, Jarvis. The credit system is the trust that allows individuals or companies to give things to other people with the understanding they will be reimbursed later. Perfect. Yes, that's exactly what we wanted. We're just going to say people with the understanding they will be reimbursed later, most always with interest. Lenders and borrowers benefit from this arrangement. Bam. Thank you, Jarvis. Rephrase again. Loans are often the most common type of financial service provided by banks. However, even some housing... Nope, we're not going to do that. Banks are the most common type of businesses that offers loans based on credit. However, even some housing applications want a credit check. All right, we'll just use that. How is credit checked? Because we had such good luck with the rephrase, I think I'm going to do it this way. Your credit report is a record of how you have borrowed and repaid money in the past, and it's often referred to as a credit report. The most important component of your credit report is your credit history, which contains information about your borrowing and repayment behavior that may what, Jarvis? Control J. Impact your credit worthiness. Perfect. When you apply for credit, creditors will check your credit history to see how trustworthy and reliable a borrower you've been in the past. This is known as a soft inquiry. Well, that's not always true. Sometimes it's a hard inquiry. So we're not going to do that. But we maybe, I'm going to write this down, if the PLR does not cover soft and hard inquiries, that is something we should cover in this article. Usually, the other way to reword things is my favorite. The content improver template is bomb, but today I'm not liking it, so that's why I'm using the rephrase. If the rephrase stops performing well, I'll go back to the other option. I will say that some people have told me it's faster for them to rewrite the article without Jarvis. That could be true. It's not always going to be the fastest, but the only way you're going to know if you can get faster is if you keep trying. So keep rewriting PLR using Jarvis. And if you do it a handful of times, like 10, 20 articles, and you're still finding that it's slower than if you would have rewritten it yourself, then just rewrite it yourself. That's okay. You can use Jarvis for other things. And you may not need Jarvis at all, right? But you don't have to use Jarvis if it's not as fast as you are. I type 120 plus words a minute, so sometimes me retyping something is faster, but Jarvis really helps with the brainstorming and the ideation and just like words that wouldn't naturally come to my head. So I appreciate using Jarvis for this. We already kind of said this, so I'm going to erase it. And we'll leave this sentence in and see if Jarvis has anything else to say. Do we have something that says how credit scores work? Because that's actually a good... Okay, that'll be a good thing. How credit scores work. This up here is the H1, H2, H3. I use H2s usually. You can also insert hyperlinks and bullet points. You can add images, but I don't and wouldn't. Oftentimes when your credit is checked, the business will, the lender will use the highest and lowest scores to create an average. This can be beneficial or harmful depending on how low your lowest score is. Your credit score is based on the information on your credit report. Yeah, we get that, Jarvis. Thank you for that. Your FICO credit score is a number between 3. You know what? We talk about FICO down there. So let's go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go ahead and go back to it later. What is a credit score? Credit score is based on the information listed on your credit report. They're used by lenders. Okay, I think the reason that when I wrote this PLR, I think the reason I wrote it like this is because this would be a good way to win a snippet when it says what is a credit score, and then you answer it like this. I really like how it's worded, but because it's PLR, I have to redo it. The information in your credit report is the basis for your credit score. Lenders use credit scores. We already talked about that. Grr. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to show you what else we do when we're writing. We Google, what is a credit score? This is something that you can read up on if you're not sure what something is, or you can copy a few sentences. Where are we, Jarvis? Come back here, paste, and rephrase. And I think what I'm going to do is move this. It doesn't feel like it belongs there. So what is credit? What is a credit score? And then how is credit checked? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. This is very general and the video is getting long, so I'm going to try to hurry up. It's difficult for me to rewrite this and talk to you guys at the same time. So I'm learning and practicing with this. But after I use Jarvis to rephrase everything, then I go back in and write a sentence or two in each paragraph. So I'll add a sentence or two, if I can, to each paragraph, and I make sure that I'm talking to my audience. So I can go over to key search and look at my different words and then come back over to Jarvis and make sure I'm including them. I did leave you guys a link here. If you're not sure where or how often to use your keywords, there is a blog post from Love at First Search that explains it in a really easy to understand way. So I'm going to go ahead and press pause on the video so you don't have to watch this whole thing, and then I will be back in just a moment to show you what I've done. As I'm writing, sometimes I will realize that I need to add a link whenever I get over into WordPress, or maybe I don't know the link, or I have a pretty link, or something like that, or I need to do some sort of formatting, like maybe I want to make this with a colored box or something like that. I will put 3 X's in a row, so whenever I go into WordPress, I can do Control F and put in the 3 X's and find every single place that I need to go back and check. I am now at 1,500 words. I added in some personal story stuff, mostly because with the single mom finance site I'm doing, I want to make sure everything is really relatable. All of these sites that I read that are financial, they're very cut and dry, which is great for people that understand that type of thing. But for me, I like to be able to relate to someone. And if I'm reading a blog, I'm doing so I'm not being talked to in a way that is just way over my head. So it's important to know who your audience is. Hey guys, real quick, I'm going to cut in on this video because it is very important to me that you understand who you're writing for. That's how your message is going to be different than everyone else's messages. So you don't want to talk above your audience to where they're not going to understand, they're going to be confused, because then they're going to leave and never come back. But you also don't want to talk below the audience to where they get bored, and you don't want to talk down to your audience or mansplain everything, because then they're going to leave and not come back. So you've got to find that happy medium, and learning more about your audience is really going to help you. Yes, you chose a niche for a blog, but you also have a niche audience, and it might not be who you thought it was going to be. So see if your audience is resonating with your posts by doing some A/B split testing, by writing one post one way, one post another way, by asking questions on your email list. There's lots of ways you can get to know your audience. I get to know my audience inside of my Facebook group. So however you get to know your audience does not matter. What matters is that you know who they are and you know how they want to be spoken to. So you're not speaking down to them or over their heads. Now let's get back to finishing the Jarvis PLR rewrite. There are a few things I noticed when I was writing along the way, so I wanted to show you how to do a few things. This right here is a link that I added. You just highlight it and click this link button, and then you're going to put the link inside here. I just messed the link up. Let's see if we can Z it. Yes, Control Z saves the day. But you just highlight it, press the link, and then enter the link that you want it to go to. These do not open in new tabs. So once you get to WordPress, you are going to have to fix that. I don't put the X's by it because I know that I have to fix every single link if I do it this way. I pulled a few things from Experian and I'm going to format those whenever I'm inside of WordPress. And then this PLR actually came with a Canva template. So I can go on here and I will delete that, see what this is. So I'll delete that. We're going to use this. This is an infographic, which is very important to use to stand out. So I'm going to add my website to it. And then I'm going to change these fonts because this is not a font that I would really use. I like this one, but it's not a font I would use either. So let's just change it to Santa. And then I really want to change this one to the same font as this. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe I will change this font to the other one that we're using, the Santa one. Let's see. I haven't really chosen my fonts for this, you guys. Guess I should have done that first, huh? Okay, I actually like this, so I'm going to change these. And you know, like I was saying, my site is about single moms, and everything I've read on finance is really boring. So I'm trying to kind of make it fun and cute and just change it up a little bit. And then I'll save this and use this at the very end. You'll see in this section where it says spruce it up. That's what that was, but I went ahead and skipped forward because there was a cute little Canva link in there. Now I can remove it and continue on with editing this post. Whenever I know where an image should go, I will put brackets and then type image so I can find it easily when I have this post in WordPress. That's where our infographic is going to go. Sometimes I'll select too much text and it won't reword it well. So if you're having that problem, just select a sentence or two at a time. And Jarvis can sometimes change facts. So make sure, like this says, that it accounts for up to 35% of your credit score. That's fine. But it repeats itself. But sometimes Jarvis would change that. And so you don't want that to happen. Make sure you check the facts. Your best line of defense against errors with Jarvis is going to be reading your entire blog post out loud. I know that can be difficult after you just spent however long writing it, but it's something that will help you find any errors at all. Let's see. Payment histories account for up to 35% of your credit score, which is the most important and weighted element. This implies that if you've been late on even a few payments, your credit score has probably dropped significantly. That's true. We don't need this implies that. So sometimes Jarvis is really long-winded. You want to, even though I tell you to make your posts, 2,000 words long, you still want to make sure that you're being concise with your words. Another thing I like to do when I'm writing in Jarvis is to bold a few words. I also like to use italics, but unfortunately they don't have that in their editor right now. Hopefully they will in the future, but it can save you time if you do it now rather than waiting and having to go along and do it in WordPress. If you're writing an article that is more than 2,000 words long, you may want to include more images or screenshots. This would be a good place to include a screenshot of your own credit history. Obviously not anything that is going to show financial information, but on Credit Karma, you can see sections that'll say, length of credit history, your score, all of that. Adding in your own screenshots and your own personal research is going to help you stand out and be above everyone else who is doing PLR. Make sure you do not reword over a link or it will disappear, but you can hit Control Z or Command Z to get it back. We already bolded these, so I think I'm going to leave it alone. A $500 credit card may have the same impact as a $20,000 loan, according to research. Okay, so we need to back up that research. I know we said we weren't going to link to it, and I don't want to link to the same one, so I'm going to do my own research, which happens to be something that you're going to have to do as well. So here we go, CNBC, get rid of all this extra gunk at the end, and we will link according to research. You click the link button or the hyperlink button and then enter. Voila! Let's look down here and see how it reworded it. Increasing your credit line may help keep your utilization low, but don't be too concerned if your limits stay low. Okay. Whoops. Okay, let's see. We are at almost 2,000 words and we have about 2 paragraphs left. And then we got to go back up and do the introduction. One thing that I totally forgot because I was talking instead of doing my own thing is we have to change these subheadings. So I'm going to pause and do that real quick. I have continued to add to this post and am at 2,200 words. If you look at the doc that I created, the first step is to start with high quality PLR, then to do some keyword research, which we did not do on camera. I will do before I add it into WordPress, but I do recommend doing keyword research before you start writing. I'm just doing it this way because I don't want to teach SEO today. And then you need to rewrite everything, which I showed you how to do with Jarvis, and then spruce it up. Bullet points, table or graph, infographic, your own images. I'm going to add some of my own credit screenshots to this post. And then step 5 is to be the best. So this post is almost done. Even though it's only 2,000 words, I wanted it to be a little bit longer. I'm going to create an opt-in and a paid product for it. So that's going to take me some more time, and then maybe I'll add more to the post. But I just wanted to show you start to finish how you can rewrite PLR with Jarvis, and then make sure, I just thought of it because I started linking to my other articles, but make sure you're linking to your other articles. You want to use Link Whisper inside of WordPress, but if you have multiple blogs, then you're going to have to remember to link to them as well. So this blog is going to link to my other blog that talks about side hustles, which is sadiesmiley.com. You can also add to the bottom of this, I'm going to leave it like this for right now, just because I know I'm going to put some finishing touches on it whenever I get it into WordPress. But I wanted to also show you the intro real quick. Now back to the beginning, I didn't really use credit building for single moms or single mom credit building because again, this is weird for me to talk while I'm doing it, but we need a better intro than this. So what I'm going to try to do is see if Jarvis will write an intro. As a single mom, understanding credit can be confusing and overwhelming. This guide will help you to better understand credit, the different factors that make up your credit score, and how to improve your credit rating. This isn't the best, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with it because I need to get it loaded and get my products created and finish this video. If you guys have any questions about using Jarvis, especially with boss mode or switching from power to focus mode, anything like that, let me know in the comments below, and then also I will link to my other Jarvis videos and guides. I have a guide that I will link to in the doc, and the link to that doc is below. So I would love to see what you come up with. Leave a link to what you've created. Leave a link to the PLR you've rewritten, or email it to me if you want. It's sadie@sadiesmiley.com, and I will send it out if it's good. The most important part of rewriting PLR with Jarvis is to actually rewrite it. So yes, you do need to rewrite most, if not all of it, and then add to it. Go through and add a sentence or two to each paragraph, and make sure you tell your stories or at least use your own voice. This can be difficult if you're hiring out, but people really do want to hear about you and your experiences. This is also a good way to grow the authority and trust that you're going to need to go up the ranks on Google. Check below for the link to the Google Doc. It has all of the resources that you need, and don't make a copy, just keep the original, because if I add to it, then you'll automatically see the updates. If you make a copy, you may miss them. You can also go to sadiesmiley.com/list to sign up for my email list and get these resources to your inbox. Thanks for watching.